Hi everyone, my name is Dave. Welcome back to Wilde Reads and welcome back to another Ginwag. I think this is Ginwag number 5. Is it number 5 or number 6? Anyway, I'll remember by the time I have to create the thumbnail. So it's another Ginwag. So what do we need for a Ginwag? We need some gin. This month's gin of choice is Portobello Road. This gin is usually taken with grapefruit. But I don't like grapefruit in the gin, and I'm getting less and less keen on having lemons in the gin as well, which is why I use limes. So, what do we need for a Ginwag? Well, we obviously need a gin and tonic, don't we? So, this is the tonic I use. I use Fever Tree tonic. If I can't get Fever Tree tonic, then I use Schweppes. I tend to stay away from the supermarket brands because they just haven't got the fizz in them, and if 3/4 of your drink is going to be a mixer, then you might as well use a good one. If you're using a half decent gin, then why spoil it by using a cheap mixer? That's my theory anyway. So a few bits I want to talk to you. Oh, see what I mean about the fizz? You do get good fizz out of a good mixer. This has not been rehearsed. This is not a cooking channel. Things go wrong in the kitchen. Okay. Clear that up later. Okay, I do usually measure out one double measure. Single measure is not allowed in this house. Now, do you pour it over ice or do you not pour it over ice? I don't think it matters that much because it's going to be chilled anyway. Gin into your glass. Now, and I can't be doing with just slices. Like, this is where I'll cut my finger off when I'm filming this. And so what I usually do is that give the lime a good roll out to release some of the flavour first, and I use quarters. So a nice quarter wedge of lime, straight in glass. What do we need next? We need some ice. Three, 4 chunks of ice in there. Go for the mixer. Okay, give it a little swizzle. What you could do actually, before putting your fruity wedge in there, is just give it a little squeeze, and that's it. That is, oh, that is your gin and tonic. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's go and talk about some books. Come on. Right. So this Ginwag. So in the last, let's recap before we go any further. Let's recap what happened in the last Ginwag. So the last Ginwag, I was telling you about our recent trips to Yorkshire. We're due again to go very soon. In fact, next weekend, I think we're going back up to Yorkshire. What else has happened in the last month? Alice, our brilliant niece, ran the London Marathon last Sunday, and we went down there. It's the first time that I've been, even though we live a stone's throw away from where the marathon runs past. Well, a little bit more than a stone's throw. We're in another. It's in the next London borough along, down at Greenwich, and we got a perfect place down there. What a fantastic day! Beautiful, beating sunshine all day. It was just a lovely day. There's such a good atmosphere down there with all the runners and all the spectators. We saw Mo Farah. Insert a bit of Mo Farah footage here. So that was Mo Farah running past, and we were mainly there to cheer on our niece Alice, who finished the marathon. And this is Alice coming round the corner as we're cheering her on. Should we do the marathon next year?
No.
Okay.
I'm a good supporter, not a runner.
Brilliant news. Thank you for those people that checked out Alice's fundraising page. She reached her total. She finished the marathon. So fantastic job, Alice. Well done. Everyone is very, very proud of you for what you've done and the money you've raised for such a brilliant cause. So well done. Chin chin, Alice. Let's all raise a glass to Alice finishing the marathon. So what else has been happening? Let's get the blog news over with first. So for the last couple of Ginwags, you may remember me talking about, and I've talked about it on Twitter and the socials as well, you may remember me talking about starting up a written blog. I'm not going to do that anymore, and I'll tell you why. I've got so far with it, and I've designed the page, and I've done the pages, and I figured out what I wanted to do on it, which was mainly single book reviews. There's not a lot of people that do single book reviews on BookTube because they don't get the views, and I understand that. I understand why they don't get the views, because not everyone is into that book. And you make the thumbnail to say, I don't know, let's pick a book. Let's just pick a book randomly off the shelf. So I'd make a thumbnail on, and I say, this is my review of Bill Bryson's A Walk in the Woods. Well, not everyone is going to want to read or want to view a review on this book. I fully understand that. And it hasn't got the sort of viewing power of a wrap-up or a haul or, you know, a TBR or anything like that. So rather than invest the time to grow another audience across another platform, what I'm going to do is I'm going to film single book reviews on this channel. I think I was putting too much pressure on myself, and I was taken away because the time to write a blog, the time to make BookTube videos, that time's got to come from somewhere, and it comes out of reading time. And the thing that was suffering, and last month I only read 4 books, and that's I'm not going to say that's not good enough for me, because that again is putting on pressure. Basically what I'm saying is that the things that I was going to do on the written blog, I'm going to go back to my original plan and do them on this channel. So there will be some single book reviews coming on the channel, which makes sense if you think about it, because this is where my subscribers are, this is where the audience is, rather than try and get a blogging routine, a regular blogging routine, and then regular vlogging routine, and then have the time to read, and then have the time to go to work to do the day job, and then have time to spend with friends and family. I was just spreading myself too thin, and I think the danger is that if I try and take on too much too early, then I'm just going to end up doing everything badly. And I don't want to do that. I mean, this channel is not even, it's what, 9 months old now. It's come a long way in a short amount of time, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. So I'm going to try some new things out on the channel. I'm going to try some single book reviews. I did actually want to make, a little while ago, you may have seen Simon at Savage Reads made a discussion video around, and he was very careful not to call it literary fiction versus commercial fiction, and he sort of cleverly avoided that. So he called it commercial or literary fiction. And I made a response video to this, but it never saw the light of day because I made it and it was such a rambling mess, because I was trying to rush it, because I was trying to work on the upcoming written blog as well. And I just made a right mess of that video, so I never uploaded it. So I'm gonna, I really want to make a response to that video, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. Please watch it if you haven't watched it already. It's a brilliant video, and I think Liv over at the Book Nook is planning a response video to that as well. One of the key arguments in that was that the consensus is, the popular consensus is that if you like literary fiction, then you cannot or should not enjoy commercial fiction as well, which Simon disagreed with, and I disagree with as well. So I'll make a response video to that and plant my flag in the sand as to where I stand on that particular issue. But just to let you into a little secret, I enjoy both. I enjoy commercial fiction and literary fiction as well. You may have seen the video that I made last week at the BookTuber meetup. What a fantastic time we had in London. This was my second UK BookTuber meetup. There's some people that I haven't met before. Kieran from Women vs Books, Lindsay from Wandering Reader, and a couple of others that I haven't met before, and it was brilliant. It was just as good as the first one, if not better. Went to some beautiful bookshops. Persephone Books is amazing. I didn't actually buy anything in there, and I do plan to get some Persephone books. And where else did we go after that? We went to London Review Bookshop, which is absolutely gorgeous. I've got a buddy read coming up. We've decided to read, so there's 4, I think there's 4 of us. So Lindsay from Wandering Reader, Emma from Emma's Bookish Lifestyle, and Kieran from Women vs Books, or Woman vs Books. Sorry, Kieran, I can never remember that. Is it Women vs Books or Woman vs Books? Anyway, it's Kieran. And we're going to be reading Ordinary People from Diana Evans, starting on the 14th. So look out for that in a future wrap-up. Really looking forward to doing a buddy read. I've only done one buddy read before, and it didn't go so well. It was rubbish. in the end. So that one didn't go so well, so I bailed out on that former buddy read, but I won't be bailing out on this one. Really looking forward to it. So what's everyone else been up to? What's the news in your bookish lives? What's everyone reading at the moment? Is everyone planning their summer TBRs yet, or are you still bedding in your spring reading? My reading, it's been a bit hit and miss this year so far. I had January, February was okay. March took a bit of a nosedive, as you probably saw in hopefully you saw in my wrap up. I only read 4 books in March. So that's it for me. What's everyone else been up to? I hope everyone's well. Thank you again for all the comments that I've been getting on the videos. I know I'm not the quickest at answering them back, but I do read every single one, so thank you all so much for that. What's everyone else been up to? Let me know what you're reading, and I'll see you next time for another BookTube video. Thank you for watching. Whatever you're doing this week, enjoy your books. I'll see you next time for another BookTube video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.